Mm, 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 mm. Hello, Annette. How are you?
I am, you know what? Absolutely amazing. Yes,
Absolutely amazing. Well, I like
yes.
those words. Absolutely amazing she is. And hello, movers. How are you today? I hope you're absolutely amazing as well. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Can We Talk, brought to you by Movement Worldwide. Yes, it's brought to you by Movement Worldwide. We are the movement. We're a motivational organization there to educate minds, empower, nurture, and transform. We are a movement to move. Yes, we are a movement to move. We want to help you thrust into your purpose to live the best version of yourself and win. We've tapped into winning information. We have winners' resources. We're seated at the winner's table, and we invite and yes, yeah, right there. We invite you to come right along with us, right, Annette?
Yeah, that is so right. You know what, Anita? Every week this table's getting bigger and bigger, and we got more chairs. So listen, we got room for you now. All you need is just come and sit and sup with us, okay? We're ready
Oh, I like that. I like
share
that.
with
Come
you.
and sup with us. Let's come and sup with us.
Come sup with
So we invite you to come and sup with us, according to Annette L. Anderson. Listen, we like to have a nice little conversation, have everybody join in, tune in, give your thoughts, leave comments, all that good stuff. And we say this very often, we are not, and I repeat, we are not psychologists, but what are we in it?
lifelogist.
We're lifeologists.
Yeah.
We've experienced some things, we've been through some stuff, and we just like to share from a very practical, but yet from a very also biblical point of view. We
Yeah.
definitely dig into the Bible, and we give you some stuff that you can chew on, some stuff that you can live with. Hello, Francesca. So we, so listen, we like to have this conversation. We're here each and every. Somebody say each and every.
Each
Each
and
and
every.
every.
Each and every.
Each and every Wednesday night, we are right here, tuned in for you, and you. So before we go on with our conversation, because trust me, we do have one for y'all. We have a conversation for y'all tonight, as we always do. We ask that you please take a moment, and the video that you're watching, if it's on Facebook, if it's on YouTube, wherever it is, we ask that you please hit that like button or hit that thumbs up button. Hit the button, push the button, push a button, like the little girl in Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Push a button. So I ain't gonna say everything she said,
No,
but
you're right.
push the button and make sure that you click a like, click a heart, whatever it is. Show us some love. We want to hear from you. The other thing that we ask you to do is please, when you see that little arrow with that little curve, that means share. It means don't keep it to yourself. Said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I couldn't keep it to myself. Why do the people always sing that song that way? But they were singing it that little couldn't keep it. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard that song not saying that way. But I want you to hit that little share button. We want you to share this broadcast, share it to your page, share it in your text message, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with Lottie, Dottie, and everybody. Let them know, listen, y'all about to miss out. You better get here and get here quick, because Anita and Annette are in and they doing it. They're having the conversation. They talking about it. Yes. Let them know. Spread the good news and let them know if they don't get in here tonight, they're going to miss out. And we don't want them to miss out now, do we?
No, we want
So please hit that share button. The other thing is there is a subscribe button. If you are subscribed to our YouTube, then make sure you go over to Facebook and you like our Facebook page and join the group. If you're subscribed on Facebook, you got all that together, sign into your YouTube account and please subscribe. Subscribe so that bell will ring so you'll get the notification. And you can do the same thing at Facebook. Make sure you subscribe so that you'll know when we're live. So subscribe, like, and share. The other thing that you can do is you can sow a seed. We are a nonprofit organization, and every seed that's sown into this ministry, we always pray for you that it will return 100-fold. So we ask that you please please sow a seed. You can sow a seed via Cash App. Our Cash App is $Movement Worldwide. Again, that's $Movement Worldwide. Hello, Lola. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. So you can sow via Cash App. Hello, Prophetess Elder Sharon Elaine Green. You notice I changed my voice. Prophetess. So you can so you can sow a seed via Cash App, $Movement Worldwide. Again, $Movement Worldwide. Or you could come into covenant with us. Come into covenant with us and sow a monthly seed. The only thing you have to do is you can just join the account. What'd you say? Oh, you want to know how? Okay. I got you. You ask good questions. So you can become a patron by doing this. Bam! Go to our website, movementworldwide.org. There's a red button that says become a patron. That button will take you to a website called patreon.com. At patreon.com, you can set up your account, you can set your amount, and we ask for $12 a month. That's 40 cents a day, $2.80 a week. That's it. That's it. All of that adds up to $12. $12. So please, ma'am, please, sir, go over to our website, join Patreon, set a pledge amount. You can set it for more if you want to, which some of our pledges have done. Set a pledge amount and just have a covenant monthly seed with us. But guess what? Whatever the seed is greatly appreciated. However you sow it is greatly appreciated. And what's mostly appreciated is that you are here. And I can say, hi, Grace. Oh, Grace ain't even on here yet. We waiting for Grace Union completion. We haven't been able to say it. But we're able to say, hi, Francesca. Hi, Lola. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Constance. We're able to do that and say hello to all of you and to be able to, have some, little conversation and for you to be able to spread the good news that we are in conversation tonight. So please, ma'am, please, sir, make sure you share, subscribe, like, sow a seed, all those good things. You can also follow us everywhere you see that little globe that's above Annette's head, the little globe right there, all platforms, Movement Worldwide. And you can also email us, info@movementworldwide.org. All right. And without further ado, we're going to go into our conversation. We got a conversation for you. And we're going to have it right about now. Dad, why are you going? I see you. I see you. Well, we start off our conversation each and every Wednesday. We like to have fun on this night, y'all. So that y'all know we don't get real serious. We do have those serious conversations, but we go in and out. But every Wednesday, we start our conversation off with what we call the transformational topic. The transformational topic is idioms and phrases, those little things that just make you go, They just make you think. We like to come from some practical information. We come from the word, and it just makes you go, So we're going to have that conversation on tonight, as we always do. And this conversation tonight is interesting because it made me think of something that I just hadn't really shared before. Hadn't really read before, hadn't really thought about before in this light. And when I got this topic, I was like, when this topic was laid on my heart, I was like, man, yes, Constance. You ready to go? Well, you about to go, You about to go, right now. One of the funniest things to me is to see a person who wears sunglasses inside, as if you can't see them, right? Like, I see you. All it does is makes them far more noticeable. You just stand out. You're like, oh, look at that guy with the shades on the inside. And the thing is that they always sitting there like this. See their eyes moving. We see you. We see you. You're not hiding. We see you. Well, all of us at one point or another have put on a poker face, some sunglasses, the poker face in pain, worn a mask through seasons, or walked around in a facade thinking that we are covering what's really under the surface. Have you ever heard a person say, or have you ever said, I see right through so-and-so. Woo, child, I can see right through them. Well, I see through you. I see right through you. People say that in arguments a lot. Well, you only hurt yourself when you try to hide or disguise what's real, much like telling one lie, and then you end up telling 12 more lies to cover the one. Well, our topic tonight is through and through. Now, what this phrase simply means is in every way or thoroughly or completely. And when we think about it from a Christian walk perspective, this is how God sees you. He sees you through and through.
Hmm.
He sees you from pain to potential to purpose. I want to read something into your hearing. Before I do, I want to give a little backstory. In Genesis chapter 16, we see the story of Hagar, the woman that Sarah brought to Abraham to give him a child, right? Because she couldn't conceive. She didn't want to wait on God. And when she conceived, Sarah was angry. She despised her. So when you look at poor Hagar, bad enough, she was not the woman that Abraham loved and acknowledged. But now to be treated badly by the person who brought you into him.
Yeah.
That had to be devastating. Plus, not only are you crushed, but it made her grow in contempt, which, I understand. She was in contempt with Sarah. But despite even her and her contentment towards Sarah, and I'm sure there was some words, I'm sure it was some things, and at times Sarah felt indifferent because here she was able to have children, and Sarah can't. She's like, oh my God, and it's like you look at you looked at as a woman who's barren, and back then you were looked at as a person, there's something wrong with you. Like, all right, it was sad the way women were looked at, but even in this with Hagar being contempt, God looked past her shortcomings and he did not disqualify her from his blessings for her. He showed mercy through her son Ishmael and promised that her son would never be a slave like her. So when we look at verse 16, actually chapter 16, verse 13, it says, she gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her, you are the God who sees me. For she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. So knowing all of that, when God spoke to her, she realized, wait a minute, they might not see me. They might not acknowledge me. They might treat me like I'm less than, but God sees me. She said, you're the God who sees me. And when we look at that, one of God's names is right there in scripture, Jehovah Rohi. Jehovah Rohi, the God who sees. God already knows what's in your heart. You might think that he doesn't, but he sees you through and through. And guess what? Even Annette, with the good, with the bad, with the ugly, with the unseemly, with all of that, knowing that God can see what you think you hiding. Why we try? God can see what we think we hide in. But guess what? Even with all of that, he chooses to use you and bless you no matter what anybody thinks about you. There's a song I want to read a little bit into your hearing by Will Reagan, and it's called Through and Through. And basically, this is all the lyrics, really. It says, I find that I am safe and warm in your loving arms. I find that I'm safe and warm in your loving arms. You see me and you know me and you love me through and through. I'm so glad that God sees me, he knows me, and he loves me through and through. The good, the bad, the ups, the downs, the ugly, the cute, the not so cute, the bitterness, everything. Through sin, through shame, through sickness, through everything. He sees me, he knows me, he loves me, and he sees me. He knows me and he loves me. He sees me, he knows me, and he loves me through and through. So I'm taking my word tonight. Y'all know I like to take a word from our topic or that relates to our topic, and I like to deal with it from a transitive and intransitive tense. I'm speaking of a verb. Verbs have transitive and intransitive tenses. A transitive verb needs an object to make sense. An intransitive verb makes sense without one. An intransitive verb makes sense without one. So when I look at this word to see, and I have used this many times, many times, and I have never seen it in this light to really speak about what I'm talking about, the topic that I'm talking about, especially as it relates to seeing. And I even did some word study one time on seeing versus looking. But when I looked at the word to see tonight, thinking of it this way, that he sees me through and through, the transitive verb means to recognize. The intransitive tense of the verb means to watch. So not only when we know that, because, remember, an intransitive verb doesn't need an object to make sense. It just does. So to see me means he's watching me. He watches over me. And if his eye is on the little sparrow, as the hymn says, then I know that he's watching me. He's watching me when I make my bed in heaven, when I make my bed in hell, that whole transition. He's watching me in both places. He's watching me through everything that I do. When I sin and come short of his glory, he's watching me. But guess what? Because I am bought with a price, that I'm washed in the blood of the Lamb, he recognizes me as his own. He sees me through and through. He watches, but yet and still, when it comes down to it, he recognizes. And my Jehovah Rohi, despite of who I am, will see me every time. That is the transformational topic. Your thoughts in it?
Oh man, that's something to think about. I don't know why we always hide.
Why?
It's just like when I think it was Adam in the garden, and then he was naked, and then God asked, "Who told you were naked?" You know what I'm saying? Who told you? I mean, who told you that? I didn't tell you that. But one thing, God sees it all, Nita. He sees us through and through. And I think if we ever release who we are to God, I guarantee.
Oh, come on.
The change that'll come over your life. Your thoughts, some of the stuff because I used to be very judgmental and never have no compassion. But when I start allowing him to say, "Hey, I see you, daughter. Hey, you need to pull it together. You can't be one thing and doing another." So I love that through and through. He sees me just where I am. And that's where you get delivered. When you take who you are, just with who you are, he already knows to God. He see you through and through. Oh yeah. I love that. Yeah, that was powerful.
Let me tell you, and
very good.
And what really got to me was when we think about Hagar and all that she endured, and even all that she did. She wasn't. It wasn't like she was, the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, she had her little stank ways and everything else. But at the end of the day, even through the fact that she may not have been who he chose, she promised him. She said, he said, your son will never be a slave like you were. And she said, oh my God, he sees me. He sees you, and he does through and through. Always know that. Always know that. So thank you so much. All right, good people. That was our transformational topic. We have had our moment tonight with Through and Through. We're getting ready to go to our next one. Thank you, Constance. Our next phase is coming up. But before we do, we're going to have our Can We Talk toast. Can we talk, Annette?
Yes.
Okay, remember when the camera is? You want to toast me?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to toast you.
Right in the middle.
Girl. Wait a minute, that ain't right.
It's film. It's in the middle.
Film.
There you go. I done missed by the shoulder something now. All right. Okay. Hello, Anita. Anita is on. So we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to have our Annettism, our quote from the quoteologist herself, the Annettism by Annette L. Anderson, and we'll be right back with the rest of our show. Don't go anywhere. You can share this with somebody. Let them know that we're on. Click that link. Share. Get some more people in the house. We'll be right back.
Life is too short for regrets. If it changes your life, let it. If it challenges your abilities, work it. If it provides new opportunities, do it. If you know who you are, be it. And know that things end, people leave, memories fade, feeling changes, tears fall, death comes. But we must learn how to move on, let go, take 5, say no, keep going, dream big, forgive yourself, and most of all, believe God. Life is too short for regrets. This is Annette's Expressions. All righty. Let's get going with the power tool. There are some matters and experiences that causes people to become hurt, fractured, or broken spiritually and emotionally. Sometimes it just takes a conversation to mend the broken heart or spirit. Sometimes you just need to talk about it. In some cases, a band-aid won't do it. You need a power tool.
Power tool.
For last week and this week, it's kind of like I'm doing a reflection within ourselves. Even I did it last night too. It's easy to look at other people, but sometimes we have to take a look at ourselves. And so the question I need to ask you tonight, who are the characters in your story? Because we all have a story. Who are the characters? Who are the people that's in our lives? First, we want to look at the main character. It refers to as a hero or protagonist. It's usually the most important character in a story. The reference to the idea, a main character in a work of fiction that the story centers around. As a new writer, I only wrote one book, but listen, two books actually. But as a new writer, I know that a story can't exist without characters. There has to be something that it's centered around. But have you ever wondered why there are characters in a story? Well, story is ultimately about characters, their choices, their consequences, their trials, their tribulations, and the lesson they've learned. The characters carry the story, and at the end of the day, it is the fate of the characters that the readers are most invested in. When you talk about stories that stick with people, they think of the characters. We all have a story with characters who play a vital part in our story. So we all got a story. We all have characters, And so when I looked at this particular scripture, and the reason why I chose this because wherever you are in life, I believe this scripture speaks to that place. Philippians 4:8 says, finally, brothers, whatever is true, what is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. So when I'm looking at the main character, which the main character really should be, we're talking about us. I'm the main character. Everybody surrounds themselves around my story. But I find something very interesting, Anita. Sometimes we allow other people to become the main character in our story. They want to take over your life. They want to tell you how you can do this. They want to say, if I was you, well, baby girl, baby boy, you're not me. So you have to be careful with the characters because they'll try to take over where you are and who you are. Then there's the supporting characters. Supporters are important for taking on the role of a caring, safe spot of the main character sometimes. But sometimes they're antagonistic too. They go against the main character, opposite to the main character. And sometimes that's good in a story, depending on the nature of the story, because even in your own life, you need somebody who's going to come against what you say. You don't need somebody always don't say, girl, you're right. You sure better say, no, every now and then in life, you need that person to say, you know what, you're wrong for that. No sis, I can't agree with you. I can't agree with you on that one. So antagonistic person is one who alienates and annoy and provoke and irritate. And sometimes there are people who irritate you, and it's not always in a bad way. I've had people who said some things to me, and at the time it irritated the heck out of me. But what I came to understand, it was needed for the story that I had, that God was allowing me to live. I needed somebody to say you're wrong. I needed somebody to step in and say, girl, if you don't get it together, I need that. There are other times we have supporting characters who are not always the best people in our lives, but I just believe that we need to have these people in our lives, because what happens, it causes us to line up and get in a place what God has called us to get into. And so I wonder sometimes, what do the supporting characters in our lives, Anita, what do they bring to the table? You talk about it often, how certain people in your life, you're trying to figure out, what is he here for? What is she there for? Is she there to make things worse for me? Is she there just to cling on to me? So what's the purpose of the supporting character in our lives? 1 Corinthians 15:33 said, don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. Do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals. So sometimes that supported character may not necessarily be a good fit in our lives. But even with those that's not a good fit, it's necessary, because what happens, we learn who to have in our life, what to look for, what they do. They teach us a lesson, because we're talking about a story. And so any story that you've ever read, any story that you see on TV, you building up the character. You're building. It just don't start off like, you don't get the ending at first. Some do, but even if they show you the ending, they're going to go back and show you what happened to get to that point. And sometimes we just need to have supporting character in our life. Proverbs 10:9 says, whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but he who makes his ways crooked will be found out. So listen, even if that supporting character in your life is walking in a crooked way, trust me, the God that we serve, that I serve, going to make sure you're going to find out exactly what that person is doing. Then we look at the essential character. That impacts the protagonist plot setting. Another important aspect that shapes or moves around a story. So that person is essential. It's necessary. It's like emotional. You know how in stories it's the love interest, so it becomes emotional. That story, the character may be called to do a certain thing, but this essential character may divert them from where they are going. So even though life is necessary to have essential characters, I've seen stories where a man end up falling in love with a woman, and then what happens, that person divert him for where he's going. So even with the essential character, they're necessary, is dealing with emotions, and they may contribute to the plot, but it can go either way. It could be good or it could be bad, but you still need to have essential character in your life. Is this character believable? I had to ask myself, is some of the people in my life, is they believable? Did they really need to be in my life? What's their purpose? What's the reason why they're there? What you doing? Why are you here? These are the things that happen even with the essential character. Does the character cause something to change in your life? That essential character, do they bring changes? Do they bring life? Do they speak life into you? So what's the purpose of the essential character? And the reason I chose this particular topic to talk about the characters, I wanted to give you the good and the bad, because all of these characters can actually be good, but they also can have a negative effect on your life. 1 Samuel 16:7 says this, and they say, but the Lord said to Samuel, and this is what he said. He said, do not look on his appearance or on the height of his stature, because I have rejected him. He had rejected Saul, but for the Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. So we can look at somebody and they look like they're a central character in our story, but only God knows their heart. And so one of my prayers is in my story, since I'm the main character, one of my prayers is that God will allow me to be able to see things past what I see, to give me discernment to make sure that person who's in my life is necessary. So I just want to go through a few people that I believe is in all our lives. I talked about the protagonist and the antagonist, but I want to talk about the sidekick. The character's second importance to who you are. Not all sidekicks support the protagonist. Listen, you may have a sidekick. You had so many. Off the top of my head, I was trying to think, especially back in the days when we had different stores. I'm trying to think. Tonto, what was it? Tonto. But anyway, I cannot think. I hate that. But a lot of these stories have a sidekick. They're the main characters, but they got the sidekick taking up the rear. So I'm wondering, what is your sidekick doing? And also what the sidekick also is extras. For anybody who ever seen movies, they are extras. They don't really necessarily have a purpose per se. They're just standing in the crowd because something's going on, a Bruce Willis movie, and everybody's fighting, and you see a bunch of people standing there. Their job is just to stand there and look important and make it look like they serve a purpose. But a lot of times, the sidekick don't necessarily always serve a purpose. Then we have the love interest, the object of the protagonist. That person, again, I talked about that earlier. That person can get in the way of what you need to do. I was thinking of when I saw this love interest and how when I was married before, and all the time I was married, how I had the love interest. And so what I had to understand is that they did not necessarily bring a whole lot to my life, but I think it helped get my life in the right direction. Because what happened, especially the last person I was married to, it got me off track. So my story, I mean, the love interest was in my story, but it caused me to get off track. It caused me to get to a place, that was not good. But I thank God for my story. Then we talked about the confidant, the character in whom the protagonist trusts the most, often a best friend, a love interest, a mentor, but sometimes he could be an unlikely character. Have you ever had anybody in your story that you trusted beyond trust, and all of a sudden you find out they was not who they were supposed to be? I'm talking about your story. Everybody got a story. And everybody trusts me. If you keep living, you're going to have an ending. So what I'm trying to do to make sure in my story that I have the right people surrounding. And finally, you have in your story a fall. The person is a villain. Like the villain is they're the opposite of what you're trying to do. You're trying to go somewhere and they're always in the way. You're trying to build your organization and you got all that naysay and chatter in your ear. I'm talking about those who pretend like they got your back, but they're there to make sure you fail. They're like, girl, you better do it. And they can't wait to get them from child, girl. She ain't gonna make it. No, you have those people. But what happens with the story? What happens with my story, Anita? What happens with your story? We need all these people to come together, supporting characters. That we're the main character. Be careful. Again, let me say this again. Be careful. Don't allow somebody else to come into your story and become the main story, baby. No, I'm the main story. You got to surround yourself. You got to become the supportive character, the essential character. You got to be the one that maybe the love interest. You got to be the one, the sidekick, the extras, the one that they call, just so it'll look to make you look good. See, that's what the extras do in the movies. It make like it's Bruce Willis and whoever's fighting, the extras make him look good. When they start running and and he's standing there and they're shooting at him 500 times, not one bullet hit, and they run and they get hit by all the bullets. See, the purpose of the extras to make the character look good. So we all got some extras in our life. So baby, come on, extra, come on, because I believe that you make the extras maybe help me get to where I need to be. So just know that we all have characters. Who are the characters in your story? I declare today, you need to figure out who's the characters. Make sure you be the main character, but make sure you determine who the people are in your life. And that's it. And I couldn't think of all those characters out there who have a sidekick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah. All right.
Chico and the Man.
Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch, Laverne and Shirley.
It's
always a sidekick. But you know what? This was a good topic. It's like it makes you start examining. Brenda Jackson, she always says to me, Anita, you attract the darndest people. She always say that to me because I said in the comments that I had to fire a lot of extras in my life. And it's true because when you start examining and looking at, your life as you're trying to progress forward and you're wondering why certain people are there and what are they doing? Why are they around me? Are they serving a purpose? Or are they just hanging on and every time I go somewhere, they want to go? And it's like, you see that a lot. We call them flunkies in yes men in the music industry. You always got this crew with you. And there's a bunch of flunkies and yes men who just there for all the free food, the free weed, the free drinks, and the chill and put their pictures on Instagram like this here. And they're not serving any purpose. They're not there for any purpose at all. They just there. So, we have to honestly assess who's in our life and what role they're playing and why. Those are always the answers that you want to ask, especially even when it comes to getting a script. And you talk about the extras and the main character, the supporting actresses and the supporting characters. All of those are important. Everybody has a role. So they really have a role, but you have to determine what role are they in, and do they need to be there? Did you really need 100 extras, or could you have done it with 3? Do you have to go show up at the session with 3 people, or can you just take an assistant? Because what are the other 2 people doing? Rubbing your feet? I mean, it doesn't make sense sometimes. So that was a good one. I wish some of my music people could have heard this. Thank you for that, Annette. Thank you for that topic. Thank you so much. We love the power tool. It's always one of those conversations that make you think and make you look at yourself and be like, is she all in my business? Because Annette be in people's business all the time. So trust me, I don't tell y'all business. That's between her and God. All right, good people. We're going to pause for a commercial break. We have the rest of our show to do. We get ready to go to my favorite part. Francesca, get your mug because it's time. We get ready to transition into the last phase. So you still have time to share with somebody and let them know they're not done. They're getting down to the nitty gritty. So we're going to pause for our commercial break. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes. You can share while we're gone. We'll be right back.
Walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction with Power Walk Sunday. Each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. live on multiple platforms.
Making sure that toxic relationship we came out of don't make us bitter, but make us better. Yes. And so you're looking for somebody good out there, but you're not good yourself. Absolutely. So the thing about it is working within yourself. When you go into the relationship as your best and they go into the relationship as their best, then you have a great relationship.
Welcome to another amazing episode of the TMC podcast.
As we continue to help you take your relationship from surviving to thriving.
TNT, that's Tuesday Night Talk with Annette L. Anderson. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live on multiple platforms. Go where you can soar. That's Speak It, Orated, Articulated, and Reverberated. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Go to elbwell.com, join the journey, and take your life back. If you don't have your copy, get yours today at Amazon.com. That's Living Life One Quote at a Time by Annette L. Anderson. Helping us grow spiritually together. Tired of the fluff and puff of playing church? Ready to be a powerful vessel? Ready to work the word? Join Connie Green every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live with Can We Talk? Your co-hosts, Annette L. Anderson and Anita Faye Wilson, with Tea Time Topics, where we discuss trending subjects and current events. You can also discuss these with your Can We Talk coffee mug. Email us at info@movementworldwide.org. They're $15, and that includes shipping. Make a donation via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, or go to our website, click the Patron button, and sow a seed of $12 per month. That's 40 cents a day. Whatever the seed, it's greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow us on all platforms. Click the notification button, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share. It's that time. Tea Time Topics.
It's time for Tea Time Topics. I love Tea Time Topics. I love Tea Time Topics. Don't you, Annette?
Yes.
Our Tea Time Topics time, good people. And our first one, bam. Woo. This is an interesting time of season, honey. Oh, gosh, here comes the stress, y'all, with all these elections. Harriet Higman defeated Representative Liz Cheney Tuesday night, which we knew was going to happen, in the Republican primary for Wyoming's at-large House seat. Cheney says she's just getting started. Fresh off her congressional primary loss, Representative Liz Cheney of Wyoming said Wednesday that she plans to be a part of a bipartisan coalition whose goal it is to ensure the former President Donald Trump never, somebody say never holds office again. Say that again with me. Never, ever, ever do we want to ever see him in office again. It's not just us, but it's also some of these people too. They never want to see him hold office again. She says, I believe that Donald Trump continues to pose a very grave threat and risk to our republic. And I think that defeating him is going to require a broad and united front of Republicans, Democrats, and independents. And that's what I intend to be a part of. She reiterated that she will be doing whatever it takes to keep Trump from returning to the Oval Office in future elections. She also said the GOP is in very bad shape. And she said, quote, it could take several election cycles before it is reformed and detached from Trump. And what she said was a cult of personality around the former president. That is so good. So true. She also denounced the former president for allegedly releasing the names of FBI agents involved in the search of his Mar-a-Lago resort, which when he knows that our law enforcement is the target of violence. You know, that's so intentional. I'm absolutely going to continue this battle, she said. It's the most important thing I've ever been involved in. And I think it's certainly the most important thing and challenge that our nation has faced in recent history and maybe since the Civil War. And it's one that we must win. Wow. Why would you go and release the names of the guys intentionally?
Well, that's what he did.
To put them in danger, because you know exactly what's going to happen when you release names of people like that into the public, which is why we don't do it. It's just proper, but of course we're talking about him. But anyway, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, he's doing that, but what he don't understand, he's gonna get some of them killed. One already dead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He don't care because he's not going to even talk about them. We're going to keep whatever it takes. But you know what? Again, you don't sow seed and don't reap a harvest.
Come on.
You don't sow seed. I ain't going to say a whole lot about the man, but he is going to get what's coming to him. And I ain't necessarily talking about nobody killing him, because God has all kinds of ways. And I pray that he be here long. I want him to stay here. And I want him to be a witness to his reaping. Exactly. Because you cannot... Especially when you know you're guilty. That's the part that gets me. But he's played in the hand, and they like putty. As far as her belief system, I don't agree with her. But I you know what? History is going to be very kind to her. You wait. History is going to be kind to her because she dared to stand up. In a way, she's probably glad she did lose. Now the work can really start. Right.
That's what she said. Now the work really begins. She knew she was going to lose. That wasn't a surprise. She knew she was going to lose because she was the only person that stood up to him. It was always her and Mitt Romney, and a couple people, but she voted with him most of the time. But because she voted to impeach him is why he's so angry and why the Republicans are so bitter towards her, because they I don't know.
It's okay though, because he still ain't the president. How about that? and he lost both popular vote. Why we not talking about that? He lost both popular vote. But anyway,
because our country doesn't care. Our country deals with the foolishness. It deals with the foolishness that they've been fed with the Electoral College. It is what it is. But you know what?
How about that?
At the end of the day, I look forward to her continuing her work because she is singing the tune that I want to sing. We can't let him win again. Period. So we give her an applause. That we do. We give her an applause. But to that idiot that gave out the people's names, we still don't do him. We still don't do him.
Do that. On January 6th, the police officer that shot the little chick that was trying to break it, he made sure his name got out there.
Thank you.
That's what he do. But well, you get that, child. You are.
All right, fellas, come on, take us to the next one. We got a lot of tea time topics tonight.
Moving. We keep it moving.
Wow. Teddy Ray, the popular comedian, passed away at 32 years of age. He became one of the biggest names in comedy over the last few years. Those who really knew comedy respected that Teddy Ray was bringing to the genre. As a result, Teddy Ray built a cult following. Oh yeah, that may not be a good word to use. Now this following is dealing with a major loss. Teddy Ray began doing his thing and building momentum around 2018. During this time, Mr. Ray appeared on Comedy Central with his stand-up routines. Teddy Ray was exposed to millions of people, garnering a large fan base. Mr. Ray often saw many of his stand-up routines going viral on social media. Mr. Ray is the reason for Damn Rip is a trending on Twitter. I haven't seen that. Sadly, Mr. Ray's life has come to an ultimate end. Yeah, he was a young man. They don't really say what happened to him, but they did say Teddy Ray is missed by everyone who came to know him through his comedy, and he brought joy to millions of people through his comedy.
Yes, it's very sad. Very sad. I know that he had gained a significant amount of weight with waiting for the autopsy to show his cause of death. But our thoughts and prayers definitely go out to his family. That was somebody's child, brother, daddy, cousin, and yeah, so to die so young in the heart of your career. And that happens sometimes.
No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But our thoughts and prayers definitely go out. All right, fellas, come take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Some of this stuff sometimes just actually aggravates me. All right. So Greg McMichael, who instigated the chase, and William Roddy Bryan, who filmed the graphic cell phone video of Aubrey falling dead in the street, appeared to show remorse for their actions for the first time publicly. I wonder why. Is it because you backed up behind them bars? The loss you've endured is beyond description, McMichael, 66, told Aubrey's family in the second floor courtroom. I never wanted any of this to happen. He said there's no malice in his or his son Travis's hearts. I should have never put him in that situation, Greg McMichael, before being sentenced to life in prison for the second time this year. Travis McMichael, 36, was also given a life sentence for the hate crimes conviction, while Bryan, who joined this chase in his own pickup, was sentenced to 35 years. By the time you serve your federal sentence, you will be close to 90 years old, the judge told Bryan moments after his apology. Then again, Mr. Aubrey never got the chance to be attorneys for all three defendants, asked that their clients be allowed to serve their time in federal prison. Now you want to serve it in federal prison? So now you want to go to federal prison because it's easier to serve the time in federal prison, arguing the high-profile nature of Aubrey's murder means they will be targeted in the state prison system. Their request has since been denied. Note, Brunswick, Georgia Park has been renamed after the 25-year-old, and Georgia state legislators declared February 23rd as Ahmaud Arbery Day. Officials in coastal Brunswick, Georgia, the hometown of Ahmaud Arbery, have decided to honor his life with a street renaming. Many believe having his name immortalized on a green street sign is a powerful expression of the city's ability to come together in strength and unity. Now y'all want to go and ask for federal time. You want to ask for yes. Now you want it. Now that you're having a hard time in prison, now you want to ask for federal prison because that's going to be easier for you than to be in the state prison system. And I'm so glad the judge denied it. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, because they were saying they have literally had thousands of death threats.
Of course,
thousands, and they scared, and they're scared for their life. So was
Ahmaud Arbery when he was running from y'all. So was Ahmaud after you shot him and then called him an effing N-word. Yes. So he was feeling scared for his life, which is why he ran, and y'all chased him and cornered him, and now you're getting chased and cornered.
Yeah.
God is not mocked; he has no respect of persons. That which a man sows shall he also reap. So deal with it. This is the fate that you decided for yourself by doing what you did. So this is what I think about y'all and y'all request. You can take it. You can take your request right there. And as for the street naming and the park and all that, we are going to always remember that young man who didn't get a chance to even live his life. Craziness. All right, fellas, come on, take us to the next one. These fools don't get to go to federal, so take them on to state. Go ahead, take them on.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Okay. Community in Lancaster, Texas. This morning, the loss of a beloved coach who died when shots were fired at a youth football game on Saturday. Police said the victim, identified as Coach Mike Hickman, was transported to a local hospital for treatment, where he was later pronounced dead. That first pictures him and his wife. Parents who attended the youth game said the yelling, the screaming, and the shooting happened in front of the children. What happened? Somebody disagreed with a call by the coach, and it's just crazy. Mm-hmm. I just imagine all the kids saw that, and they're going to have to relive that at home. They had two lovely children who don't have a father in their life and a wife. We have a wife that is heartbroken, a family that is going through, and it's very difficult. Mm-hmm. And we all need to be praying for them. This is his pastor, Keith Hall, tells Jennifer Hickman, a teacher, was this young man's sister. A teacher was married in 2020. Oh. So this family has had some tragedy. And he's gonna say, tonight we lost a great father, son, husband, and coach. He was coaching his son and team today at a sporting event. Oh. His son, And they talked about the coward. The man on the other man, he was the one that did the shooting, and he has since turned himself in. Say, we pray for the family in our community at this crazy time in youth sport. It was a guy. It wasn't this dude, because I saw the video. It wasn't him. It was somebody else disagreed with the call, and it wasn't even. He wasn't even the referee that called the call. I don't think did the call, but the guy kept saying, "Okay, fine, let it go." And so after a while, you heard shots and people running.
Why do people get so worked up?
And why you bring a gun to a game with kids? With kids. And why you shoot? You heard bap, 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 but the only person who was hit was Hickman, and then they were saying it could have been anybody. Children out there. So yeah. He said the guy, I don't even know his name, said he turned himself in because he wanted to tell his side of the story. There's no side to tell.
So you don't have no remorse.
Because you should not have a gun to a kid football game.
So you have no remorse. You just want to tell your side.
That's what he said. I didn't even. That's why I didn't even really say much about him. I don't think he's really that important, because regardless of whether you agreed or disagreed, I mean, it may be more to the story. Maybe somebody else had a gun and drew the gun. I don't know, but I do know a man is dead and kids were out there. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's it. That bothered me.
Yeah, that's what's so sad about this country and the gun laws. I declare. Well, our heart goes out to them. We don't have a sound for that, so our heart goes out, and we pray for the family. And this has got to stop. It's got to stop. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
All righty then. Hundreds of Black NFL retirees denied payouts in the $1 billion concussion settlement now qualify for the awards after their tests were recorded to eliminate racial bias. 2 years after a pair of former players sued the NFL over the treatment of Black retirees in the league, $1 billion concussion settlement, hundreds of men whose medical tests were rescored to eliminate race bias now qualify for the awards. Change in the settlement made last year are meant to make the tests race blind. The use of race norming is in the dementia testing made it more difficult for Blacks to prove that they had the kind of cognitive decline that qualifies retired players for awards that avenge $500,000 or more. Nearly 650 men have had their dementia tests automatically rescored, according to a report released Friday by the law firm handling claims against the NFL. The retirees had met the other criteria for a successful claim, which includes hours of validity testing to show that their daily lives are significantly impaired and that they are not malingering. 51 now qualify for moderate to advanced dementia awards, which vary based on condition as years of play. Nearly 250 show signs of early dementia and will receive up to $35,000 in enhanced medical testing and treatment. All of them initially failed to qualify because of the race norming issues in testing. The new test results will add millions to the NFL total playouts. Thousands of other Black retirees can meanwhile seek new testing to see whether they qualify under the revised scoring formula. But advocates for the former players fear that many don't know that, especially if they deal with memory issues and live alone. Anything to cheat Black people.
Yeah.
I get so sick of
Yeah.
stories like this. Anything to cheat Black people. Anything to cheat them. Why would you even want to do that? But you know what? It happens so much. That's why I tell people all the time, you have to take your health under control. You have to take control of your own medical stuff, of everything in your life, and read. Stop taking stuff home and not reading the paperwork. Do some research, get second opinions. Don't take something at face value, because this is what happens. And then you find out years later when you're somewhere in a corner blowing bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, because what they did is, I guess when they were scoring them, it was black, black, they had, black, white. So why every Black player was denied?
And then when that happens in a lot of other medical testing too, as it relates to them giving us medication. It's medication that they would give us before they ever give a white person. You know why? Because it's going to kill our kidneys. And that's why you see so many Black people in dialysis. There is something to it. Pay attention, y'all.
So when they took the brace thing out, all of a sudden these people really got some issues.
Crazy.
And those two guys were the one that sued them.
Mm-hmm.
The two football players. Yep. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a real good story because I never knew that.
Yeah, that's a good story.
I was thinking
that's a really good story. These are things that inform people. So if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, spread the word. Find them. If they say they're an ex-football player and they walk around here pushing a shopping cart, they need to go get tested, because it has happened in this country over and over again where Black people have been denied their due diligence. Where my reparations? I want my money.
But it's right, they'll be there clapping. Oh yeah, go! That's our team. But then, so that's
they don't want to take care of them. They do the same thing to veterans. So I got one for all y'all.
Yeah, but you got the right man in there now. The other man was talking about he was for vets, but this one here showing him because they got some new stuff going on. Thank God. So
the orange man wasn't doing nothing but looking for his concealer. All right, fellas, go. Fellas, go take us to the next.
Moving. We keep it moving.
But you're probably right. Oh, you're probably right. Superstar Missy Elliott have received numerous accolades throughout her career in music, and now her hometown of Portsmouth, Virginia, is earning a hip.
Yeah, that's where Kyle is.
Huh? That's where
he
is. Portsmouth, Virginia. Wow. Is he? Well, he got to go down her street. Is honoring the hip hop diva with her own street name. Tell her to go down there and
take a picture and do a live.
The council voted unanimously on Tuesday to rename the section of McLean Street to Missy Elliott Boulevard. Okay. The section includes a Tidewater Community College and the Victory Crossing Shopping Center. It also houses a development called the Portsmouth. I never can pronounce that. Portsmouth Rivers Casino. Okay, casino. I'll tell him to go by there and take that picture. Currently under construction. Elliott, a Grammy Award winner, was born in Portsmouth and grew up in the Hodges Ferry community. Okay. She previously donated $25,000 to a former school, Woodrow Wilson High School, now named, they've been changing these names, Manor High School. Missy Elliott has broken through the barriers of the male-dominated hip-hop world and music industry as a whole, and she has led the way for many women who follow in her footsteps. Hollywood Walk of Fame producer Anna Martinez said in November 2021, she added that Elliott continues to break barriers year after year.
Amen. That she does. That she absolutely does. And we do applaud Missy. It's, she has done some great stuff, and we all sing her songs. Some of you don't even realize some of the songs that you love were not written by the artists. A lot of people have this misconception, but some of the songs that we love by great artists and legend artists are written by Missy Elliott. So we give her props. Give her props. Great job. Job well done. Job well done. Job well done, little church girl. That's what she is. She's a church girl anyway. Job well done. All right, fellas, come on and take us to the next one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
All righty. Here we go. Boom. Look at her. Look at her. She looks so good. Y'all, listen to this. A Georgia centenarian, yes, is celebrating a rare feat, turning 109 years old. I'm going to let that sink in.
Yes.
109 years old. 109, y'all. 109. Relda Mackins, who has traveled to several countries, run her own business, and developed a lifelong reputation for always helping others. And now she is sharing her secrets to living a long, healthy life. Mama never drank. Mama never smoked. In fact, I was going through pictures for the reunion and I saw her with a glass and she had a cigarette in one hand. And I asked Mama, what was this about? And she said, yeah, it was for the camera. Karen Green, 71, said of her 109-year-old mother's healthy lifestyle. Always willing to lend a helping hand, she gained the nickname Honeybee, short for her middle name, Beatrice, and because Green says her mother was always buzzing around, helping her neighbors with cooking, baking, cleaning, and laundry. How does it feel to be turning 109 years old? Green asked her mother, Relda Mackins. I guess it feels good. I've never been here before, replied Mackins. Mackins rides her 35-year-old stationary bike. You better go three times a day and walks on her treadmill regularly, according to her daughter and caregiver. Green says the Atlanta Braves baseball team and the White House are sending Mackins specially signed birthday cards to cap off a birthday celebration. Her church, Antioch AME Church in Stone Mountain, has set for the 109-year-old. Tennessee, a little more than a year after the Titanic sank, and she has lived to see 19 U.S. presidents. Wow. Look at God. 19 presidents. She's lived through 19 presidents. That is something.
That's amazing.
Girl, I can't even. And she looks so good.
She good, girl. I saw a lady today.
Still riding her bike. Still riding a stationary bike. And some of us won't even get up and try to walk on the treadmill. I can't on my knee and my ankle. She's 109.
Look at her skin. She got all. I know some people, man. I saw a lady today like. I said, she look at her skin. I saw a lady today. I kept staring. I said, "When how she is?" She was every part of her face had a wrinkle on it. I was like, wow. Some people,
she is beautiful.
So that she was, yeah, she is. Ain't that something?
That's something. Something.
It was just saying she was born a little more than a year after the Titanic sank.
Yeah.
That's what that was supposed to say.
Okay. Yeah, she was born a year after the Titanic sank. So she been living through some stuff.
Girl, that woman, it was more to her story, but
yeah,
she lived a lot. She, man, 100.
Well, y'all can go look her up, Relda Mackins, and look her up and read about her and tell your children and your children's children. That's something to see, something to know. And you'll find it all right here on Can We Talk in our Tea Time Topics. I'm telling y'all, it's the bomb. That's why I love them. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
This is a story about, of course, identical twin brothers, Alex and Alan. Alex had been working at Alaskan Airlines for quite some time before Alan came, who previously worked at a regional airline, decided to join the same company his brother was working at after finishing his simulated training. The airline believes that the recruitment of identical twin pilots is the first in nearly century-old history. Since the age of 3, Alex and Alan have been fascinated with aviation thanks to their parents. Their father used to take them plane spotting every Sunday after church, while their mother brought them along on business trip via plane. When the twins moved from Kenya to California at the age of 13, their passion for flying grew even bigger. To support their passion, their mother gifted them with a Microsoft Flight Simulator. Wow. After I started playing with the program, that was it. That's one was one I'm said and said I knew I wanted to do that. I want to fly for a job. Alan told Alaskan Air News. Now Alan will be based in San Francisco, and Alex will fly out of Los Angeles. They are hoping they could someday fly the same aircraft together. All right, professionally, which they haven't done yet because of the complexity of the operations in their field. The goal is to have one of us upgrade to captain and be operating the same aircraft so we can fly together, Alex said.
Wow.
They also are looking forward to having their mother on board when the time comes. Alex and Alan has been hired as the first officer pilots for Alaskan Airlines in the United States. And they're going to say the original from Kenya. They're making history as the first set of identical twin pilots at the airline while making their dream to fly together come true.
Wow. What a story. And I know they mama proud.
I know. You know what I like, Anita, about this story? I like the fact they say every Sunday after church, their dad, took them look at the planes. And so that's why it's so important that we do things like that with our children. Start cultivating.
You help them dream. You show them things that are fascinating, and you give them something to aspire to. It's so true. That is amazing. Love it, love it, love it. We applaud them and hope that they get to fly together one day. That would be interesting to have twins steering your plane. That would definitely make history. Wow, that's a great story. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
All righty then. It's another interesting story here.
Yeah.
A Florida elementary school teacher said he quit his job after another staff member removed his pictures depicting African-American leaders, Michael James, who taught O.J. Sims Elementary School in Pensacola. He said he posted images on a bulletin board depicting civil rights icons Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman, scientist George Washington Carver, and former Secretary of State Colin Powell. He told the Pensacola News-Journal that he wanted to display the images so the students, a majority of whom are Black, could see someone they could relate to. James said it really floored him when a staff member removed the photos. I've been teaching special education for 15 years, and it just really floored me when she did that, he told the newspaper. James did not say the name of the staff member. He told the News-Journal that he was setting up his classroom before the start of the school year with the help of two co-workers. The bulletin board containing the images was behind his desk, along with a copy of the Pledge of Allegiance, James said. While he was sitting at a student's desk cutting them out, the staff member started removing items from his bulletin board. James said the staff member told him that the images were not age appropriate. He said she also removed an image he had on his desk of former President Barack Obama. She picked it up and said, "You don't need to put this up there either." She said, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said the kids are too young or something like that. He said it floored me, he told the newspaper. James said he decided to resign because he did not want to work for a school district that would hire someone who behaved that way, the newspaper reported. Cody Strother, the spokesperson for Escambia County Public Schools, confirmed that it received James' resignation on Tuesday. Strother said the district was also included on an email James sent to Governor Ron DeSantis' office about the incident. He ain't gonna do nothing. But that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Then that's the case. Please don't put up Washington.
George Washington and Christopher Columbus.
Because that's not age
exactly. It's not age appropriate.
Yeah, let's not put up about the Civil War. Don't that's not age appropriate.
Exactly. Ridiculous.
Now, okay, you mean to tell me the president? So it better be no presidents up there. That means none, because if that's the case.
If that's the case.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about this country, but it's getting more and more ridiculous, and that's why we have to pay attention.
When I read it, I'm like, and I couldn't find his picture at first, and I'm like, let me keep looking. I'm like, wow, that man quit.
Ridiculous.
We're going a little bit too far. What's the age? So anyway, it don't matter.
Too far.
Yeah, that's
all right, fellas. Take us to our last one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
Okay, Sojourner Truth was a women's rights activist born in slavery as Isabella Baumfree around 1797. At 9 years old, Isabella was bought by a man named John Neely for $100 and a flock of sheep. Later, she was sold as a slave. Baumfree lived with Van Wagoners. Oh boy, wasn't there? A couple of years after her emancipation, and she changed her name to their name. In 1829, she moved to New York City, where she found employment as a housekeeper for Elijah Pearson, an evangelist preacher. Elijah Pearson was a businessman and a preacher, and together with a man named Robert Matthews, they claimed to be oracles. They called themselves the Prophet Matthias and Elijah the Tishbite, respectfully. That's funny. Elijah died, and then they accused the young lady of murder, a murder that she did not commit, and she fought the charges in court. And to the surprise of many, she won the case and was acquitted of theft and murder. Elijah Pearson. And then she decided to change, and she decided to live a life as a traveling preacher. And in 1843, she joined the Methodist Church and changed her name to Sojourner Truth, according to the Library of Congress. She chose the name Sojourner because I was to travel up and down the land, showing people their sins and being assigned to them, and truth because I was to declare the truth unto the people. In 1844, Miss Truth was in Massachusetts, where she joined the Northampton Association of Education and Industry, abolitionist organization. Boy, I can never say that. So according to the Women in History in Ohio, the group had about 200 members who lived together on a farmland. Did they? Wow. Mm-hmm. Then she was able to work with known people such as David Ruggles, Frederick Douglass, and William Lloyd Garrison. The community was self-sustaining, but just 2 years later, the group disbanded. Miss Truth remained as an activist until the end of her life. In the late 1860s, she moved to Battle Creek, Michigan, where some of her children resided, as reported by history. Truth died in her home on November 26, 1883. In 2009, a bronze bust of Truth was revealed at the Emancipation Hall of the Capitol Visitor Center in Washington, D.C. It was the first sculpture displayed in the United States Capitol in honor of an African-American woman. In 2004, the Smithsonian Magazine named Truth as one of the most significant Americans of all time. And that's Miss Sojourner Truth.
Sojourner Truth. Wow.
I had never heard of her.
Really?
No, I had not.
Wow. Michelle Obama for president 2024. Yes, I would vote for
that
her.
would be nice, but Michelle ain't finna let them people.
I would sure vote for her.
I would too. Michelle trying to live her best life. She ain't finna do that.
Sojourner Truth. Let me give her bell. But I would vote for Michelle, though.
I would too. A whole lot of people would, actually.
Mm-hmm. She would win, especially if Trump running. That would be such a good running opposition.
No.
All right, good people. We've come to the end. That was our last time topic. We've come to the end of the conclusion of our broadcast. I'm so glad we had this time together. We had this time together, but we gotta go. So, but before we go, we ask that you please, the video you're watching, please make sure you subscribe, make sure you like it, hit a thumbs up, and make sure you share. The other thing you can do is sow a seed via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, or come into covenant by going to our website, movementworldwide.org, clicking the red button, go to patreon.com, set up your account, set your amount. We ask for $12 a month, 40 cents a day, or $2.80 a week. That's what we ask for. So please, ma'am, please, sir, sow a seed. You can also follow us Everywhere you see that globe above Annette's head, follow us on all social media platforms, Movement Worldwide. And you can email us at info@movementworldwide.org. Now, to give a rundown of what we got going on all week, we have a whole lot that happens. We start out on our, I will vote for her too, Annette. We start out our week with the incredible, the awesome, the amazing Annette L. Anderson with her organization entitled SOAR. You can see this organization. You can get information about this organization at her website, AnnetteLAnderson.com. AnnetteLAnderson.com. So Annette L. Anderson greets us on Tuesday nights with TNT. That's Tuesday Night Talk, where we take flight and soar. That speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. I did. I practiced it. That speak, I got to practice in the chair. That speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. live on this platform, Facebook and YouTube. And then on Wednesdays, meet us right back here on this platform for Can We Talk, a night where we let our hair down, we just have some fun, we just chill, we just have a moment. Meet us right back here on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. live on Facebook and YouTube for Can We Talk, with our transformational topic that makes you go, And then that hard to have conversation, the one everybody want to sweep under the rug, the power tool. And for my favorite part, where you get news, the good, the bad, the ugly, the rare, the stuff you don't hear about anywhere else but here, our tea time topics. And that's Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. live on Facebook and YouTube. Then on Fridays, if you are not on Clubhouse, you need to get on Clubhouse, and you need to stay on Clubhouse, and you need to make sure you set your notification in the Movers and Shakers room. Download it on your phone, download that app, set up your account. You got to go through all the little prompts, set your account up, and then find us. Annette L. Anderson and Anita Faye Wilson. You can find us. You'll see our picture. Find us on Clubhouse and join the Movers and Shakers room and set your notification. But we know that a few people who may not be able to find us, may not know what to do, really know how to be tech savvy. We got you covered because everybody knows how to send a text. You can just go, bam! Text the word movers. Set my drums up to 954-820-5050. What? 954-8. I see you. 954-820-5050. 954-820-5050. I added. Text the word movers to 954-820-5050, and you will get a link right into the room. You'll come right in. So make sure you do that, people. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Text that word movers, 954-820-5050. Come in the room. Join us. We have a great conversation. And listen, if you're missing out, you are really missing out. There's a lot going on. Oh, you like my drums. You like my drums? So text word movers to 954-820-5050. Come in the room for our Clubhouse on Friday nights at 8 p.m. And then on Sundays, join us right back here on this platform, Facebook and YouTube, at 10 a.m. every Sunday for Power Walk Sunday, where we inspire and motivate you to walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction, where there is always, say always, Annette.
Always.
But there is always a word for you and your last words.
Oh, man, thank you so much for sharing with us. Man, where did the time go? I tell you, when we're on here, time seems to speed up because we absolutely love what we do. So yes. Thank you. Anita's gone through all the stuff we do, and that's probably getting ready to change. I'm sure we're going to be doing some more stuff. Yes, but please join us on any of those platforms. We'll be so glad to have you. We love you. Have a good rest of your week.
All righty. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. But it's time to go. We're going to send y'all some love. Be safe. Enjoy the balance of your weeks. Share this broadcast with somebody, and we'll see you the next time. Y'all have a good one. Bye.
Walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction with Power Walk Sunday. each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. live on multiple platforms.
Making sure that toxic relationship we came out of don't make us bitter, but make us better. And so you're looking for somebody good out there, but you're not good yourself. So the thing about it is working within yourself. When you go into the relationship as your best and they go into the relationship as their best, then you have a great relationship.
Welcome to another amazing episode of the TMC podcast.
As we continue to help you take your relationship from surviving to thriving.
TNT, that's Tuesday Night Talk with Annette L. Anderson, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live on multiple platforms. Go where you can soar. That's speak it, orate it, articulate it, and reverberate it. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Go to elbwell.com, join the journey, and take your life back. If you don't have your copy, get yours today at Amazon.com. That's Living Life One Quote at a Time by Annette L. Anderson. Helping us grow spiritually together. Tired of the fluff and puff of playing church? Ready to be a powerful vessel? Ready to work the word? Join Connie Green every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live with Can We Talk? Your co-hosts, Annette L. Anderson and Anita Faye Wilson, with Tea Time Topics, where we discuss trending subjects and current events. You can also discuss these with your Can We Talk coffee mug. Email us at info@movementworldwide.org. They're $15, and that includes shipping. Make a donation via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, or go to our website, click the Patron button, and sow a seed of $12 per month. That's 40 cents a day. Whatever the seed, it's greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow us on all platforms. Click the notification button, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share.